My name is Cassy Summers. Welcome to the Curious Universe podcast. Okay, have you ever been really inspired by someone and then you kind of like copied them? And it kind of like was a little bit flat or a little bit, and then you decided, wow, I must suck because I didn't do a very good job of copycatting them. Yeah, that's what I want to explore today, is where you can actually take that inspiration from someone and you look at how can I be with this in the way that I am with this, that you're actually allowing that inspiration to fuel possibility, but you're not trying to mimic or plagiarize someone else's being. That can get you into a lot of trouble, my friends. And not even that, it's people are actually missing out on the gift of you when you are showing up as someone else or as a plagiarization of someone else. What you've decided is great about them, and you're trying to mimic what's great about them rather than acknowledging what's great about you with this. Okay, so let's use social media as such a great example. We see social media and we see, oh my God, this person speaks perfectly, or they look perfectly, or maybe there's something you genuinely just, I love how they're so vulnerable. Okay, so you go, wow, their vulnerability is so dynamic, it's so beautiful. I'm going to show up like them in my videos. Right away, you've already killed the vulnerability, because you can't vulnerably be someone else. You can only, in vulnerability, you can only show up as you. That's how it works. But when you create a fakeness of you, an image of you, and show up that way, there's no vulnerability, because the vulnerability is behind that image, right? You're plagiarizing. You know what plagiarizing is, right? You remember in school where you always had to be worried about copyright, and you wouldn't hand off someone else's work as yours, because that would be plagiarizing. So if you have this sense of, wow, their vulnerability is so dynamic, it pulls me in, I'm so grateful for it, you can ask, what is that like for me? What would it be like for me to be vulnerable? And maybe for you, being vulnerable on camera in your videos and your social media is to have so much humor, or to be kind of outrageous and wild. And the way this other person is vulnerable, maybe they're soft and, like almost on the bridge of tears all the time. And there's just this different kind of vulnerability. So part of what you could explore here is, what is it that you're actually inspired by? What is that sense of being? Because you only perceive that which you already are in someone else, or that you can be. Like, it's a choice. Otherwise, you wouldn't even notice it. Okay, so you're like, oh, what is that? What is that actual inspiration? What is that you would like to step into being? And allow it to show up for you, and however it shows up for you, not in mimicking the way that someone else did it, and not even necessarily, well, definitely not plagiarizing as though, oh yeah, I'm totally like this too. A lot of us spend most of our lives, like at the very young age, we've been plagiarizing everyone around us. We've been plagiarizing their entire universes, and you plagiarize your mom, you plagiarize your dad, you plagiarize all these key people in your life, and you make them all kind of work together in this bizarre way. And then as you want to change, as you go through, and maybe you're like, oh, I'd like to have more of me. I'd like to find me. I'd like to be more of me. We always look out rather than in. That's an entrainment. So everywhere you've been looking out rather than in to find out, who am I today? Will you destroy and uncreate all of that? Now I'm going to use the access conscious clearing statement, or right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all natures, boys, pogads, and beyonds. So I've used that clearing on the show before. If you're new to the show or new to access consciousness, please go to theclearingstatement.com. There's a whole explanation on that tool that I just used, that all those crazy words, crazy fun words, magical words that I just used. And allow yourself to start to explore curiously who you are with this, with that, with relationship, with money, with your body, with social media. Who are you with all of this? And not in a place of trying to define something and make something solid, because you're not solid. You're this magical creature that's continuously changing every day. And I noticed even for myself, as I do these shows, I show up so different in every show. I can't recreate. I don't even want to plagiarize myself, because who I was yesterday, or who I was, if I did a whole bunch of videos in one day, who I am at the start of the day, I will be a different energy for every single video. And to be true to the energy of in that particular podcast, that particular creation, I can't be plagiarizing who I was a moment ago. I can't be trying to recreate that. I have to be present to be the greatness that I am. I have to be present with what's going on right then in that moment, and who I am in that moment, beyond plagiarization, beyond duplicating, beyond mimicking someone else. Yeah. And that can be for some people, fear can come up around that, because they want to know that they've got this, and that they're comfortable, and they're just going to show up in this particular way. Well, you can still be comfortable. You can still know that you've got this, but don't decide how you're going to show up. Don't decide, I have my coat of armor now. I don't have to be aware. I don't have to be present. I'm just going to plagiarize everything around me and everyone around me as though that's who I am. That's not who you are. Most of us don't even know who we are, because we're not a definable creature. Who I am is this, who I am is that. I don't know about you, but I was always like trying to go, what's my style? Like certain people have a very particular style of clothing or way of being. And it's always, I'm like, oh, I always really wanted that. Am I like the cowgirl? Am I the hipster? Am I the punk rocker? And the more I explore curiously, I realized that I am so many different energies, and that it's evolving continuously. And the more I have a sense of me, I have discovered I am this creature that has never existed before. There is no box for me. I can't fit into the punk rocker. I can't fit into like the glam girl. I can't fit into any of these boxes. But I had decided at a very young age that was ideal, that was what I was looking to achieve. And when I could achieve, when I could find the box that I fit in, I was going to have this sense of belonging, this sense of self, this sense of confidence. What's just actually so funny is when I actually stopped trying to put myself in a box is when my confidence showed up. It's everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. So what if for you, if the moment you stop trying to find the box that you fit in, stop trying to find the perfect thing that you could plagiarize and put off as yours, that you will discover everything that you thought it was going to give you. When you can show up, whether it's in your business, in your marriage, with your kids, with your boss, you can actually truly show up as you, curiously, undefined, ever-changing, that you're going to have all of the rewards that you hoped that plagiarized image was going to give you. You just think about going for a job interview, you want to present yourself as like, what's their ideal employee? And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna present myself as what I've decided their ideal employee is. And then if you don't get the job, you're gonna go into the wrongness of you, right? Or maybe you're going on a first date or something like that. What if truly, when you show up as you, whatever that is in those 10 seconds, that is when the greatest possibilities are going to show up for you. What if that's when you get the job that everyone's like, how did you get that job? You don't even have the qualifications. And you're like, I don't know. Or you go on that first date and you're like, okay, cool. I'm just going to be me and see what happens. And then they're more of them and you have more fun than you ever imagined could be possible. Parenting will get easier. So you look at these places where, are you plagiarizing parenting? Are you plagiarizing friendship? Whose reality are you plagiarizing here with this? And not from who's like trying to figure it out, because here's the thing, there's probably so many people you're plagiarizing. But it's to acknowledge that you are indeed plagiarizing. You are taking someone else's reality and you are passing it off as though it's yours. And that could be your reality in business, your reality in social media, your reality with money, your reality with family, with parenting. And if you start to let go of all of these places you're plagiarizing, you might have a few days of like, I have no idea who I am. And you might even think that you don't know how to be with people. You might have like socially awkward. I just had one the other day, and I was like, yeah, I just really feel very socially awkward today because I'm so undefined. It's okay. Just be with it. Don't worry. It gets easy. You just got to be with it for a little bit. And then it's going to shift into this new, more enjoyable way of living and it being you in the world. Because aren't you here to be you in the world rather than to be someone else in the world? To live out someone else's reality? They're already living out their reality. Why do you need to live out their reality? What's your reality? What's your reality with money? What's your reality with relationship? It might be so different that it's never even been here before. But if you don't explore it and you don't actually step into being it and choosing it, then we'll never change this world. It's just going to be more of the same. I mean, think about it. We have like 8 billion people on this planet almost. If everyone is plagiarizing each other, then we're just going to have more of the same. I'm not into that. I'm looking at difference and different. Creating a different reality. And what I know for me, what's true for me, is that the more I unlock and unleash my reality, not plagiarizing someone else's, my reality, I am being that which creates a different reality. We have all these entanglements and we're using so much energy to plagiarize others. We we can't even get clear, we can't even get close to our own reality that would create that different reality. So all the realities that you're plagiarizing right now, all the realities with money, all the realities with relationship, with body, all the realities with parenting, with family, even spirituality. Would you be willing to destroy and create all of that? Please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys, POBADs, and beyonds. That's that clearing statement. Clear out those energies. Everything is energetic. Everything is energetic. So some people, they go into the world of the mind and psychology. I go into the world of energy and clearing it on an energetic level rather than on a mind level, because if you clear it on the energetic level, the mind stuff shifts too. It's underneath all of that, right? And for me, that's easier, it's faster, and it's way more fun and magical. So looking at this other piece here with the inspiration. So when you're inspired by someone, or when you have a sense of a possibility, rather than looking out to what can you plagiarize that's going to create that for you, what if you actually asked, you go inside, right? What do I know about this? How would this show up for me? What would this be like for me? I know this amazing, miraculous person, and he just wins at like the slot machines, or if he's doing gambling, like he has this amazing capacity with that kind of stuff. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. And I went, and it was so interesting because it was as though I was trying to be him and it wasn't working. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I can't actually just copy his capacity. I can't plagiarize all of this as though it's mine. I have to ask questions and look at, how does this show up for me? If I can perceive his capacity, then I have my own capacity with this. And asking questions will start to open up and unlock even more of those capacities, and will show me the reality that I can be with that. And then it's going to show up for me the way it shows up for me. And so since that, actually, I've been winning. Like I win things off of like giveaways on Instagram or things like that. That's really fun for me. It's really different. But if I kept putting all my attention on trying to copy, to plagiarize what he is, then I would never discover what I am and what's different about me and how I can be with something. So how can you be with this? How can you be with money? How can you be with your capacities that no one else can be? The funny thing is that no one can actually truly ever be you, and you can never truly actually be anyone else. So rather than looking at copying everyone, you can actually explore the difference of you that will make your life way more joyful. Because what I've discovered for me, what I've really come to know is true, especially over the last year, I would say, is that I'm most joyful, I'm most happy when I'm being me and not trying to do someone else, like do that role. I'm not functioning from someone else's plagiarized reality. I'm actually looking at, if I was truly being me with this, who would I be? How would I be? When would I be? Where would I be? You can use who, what, when, where, why, and how. Why would I be? And see what shows up. So maybe play with that the topic of plagiarization is actually a huge topic. It's something kind of spreading through access consciousness right now. And I'll probably do another podcast on it later, but I really wanted to look specifically today with that sense of showing up as you in every moment and letting go of that plagiarized reality and discovering what is your reality with this. With your business, what is your reality? You can't plagiarize. You cannot be plagiarized because it's going to be something different and probably something that's never existed in the way that you could bring it together. It's probably never existed here before. And when you're willing to have that with business, with body, with money, with whatever, that's you creating a different reality for all of us. I can explain more of that in another video, but I could already sense a little bit of brains frying, and brain frying is actually a wonderful place to be, because what it means is that your mind can no longer computate and the energy is actually going right to you, the infinite being. And it's coming in and starting to expand a possibility for you. So what is possible for you showing up as you, undefined you? And you could use that tool. If I was truly being me right now, how would I be? If I was truly being me in relationship, what would that be like? What would it be like to be me? What is my reality with this? Look in, don't look out. What is my reality with this? And you can have like a little, like, you know, like a metal detector, like ding, 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 and it gets louder when you're closer to metal. Well, find your detector, your being detector. So one of my being detectors is actually truly that sense of joy. So when I'm like, ding, 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 my joy is getting louder, then I know I'm being me. I know that I'm showing up as me, whatever that is, whether it's a video, whether it's a creation, whether it's with my kids, whether it's, you know, with a lover. When my joy meter starts to rise, I know that I'm being me. And when I show up as me, that's part of me creating my reality. So when I have joy with money, that's my reality. Oh, this was really joyful for me with money. Oh my God. So this is actually an indication of my reality with money. Okay, I'm going to have more of that, please. More of that, please. More of that, please. Notice when we talked about like style of clothing, when you get dressed, when you put stuff on your body, for me, it's that joy meter again. So if I'm really joyful to be wearing what I'm wearing, I know that I'm functioning, I'm choosing, I'm creating from my reality, not a plagiarized reality, not someone else's reality, not an image. Oh, this is just me today in this moment, in this undefined moment. This is me. How's it getting better than that? What would it take for more of this to show up? What if being you is actually the easy thing? And all this other stuff that we're doing is the difficulty. And as you unweave and untangle and let go of the plagiarization, the image. See, the thing is that most images are actually us plagiarizing someone's way of being in the world. When they be in the world from image and we go, oh, that must be the right way to do it. I'm going to do that. So that's where these are all kind of dancing together today in this podcast, which is kind of interesting and kind of cool. is to see how they're threaded and weaved together, and that truly you can unweave them, you can drop them and let them go, and have the joy and the adventure of exploring what is beyond that for you. Now, as always, thank you for exploring these curious universes of possibility with me. I am truly grateful for you. I do sense you. I sense those that listen to my podcast now and in the future. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for exploring with me. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for exploring the curious universe with me. Your curiosity matters. And what if together we could create a greater, more curious world?